Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. More than power, never, ever, after work is over. Harder, better, faster, stronger. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. Work it never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over.
We do a run-up, which is essentially just making sure that the engine's good, so it's operating within the parameters that are laid out, and we do that before the passengers get on board because we don't really want to...
Uniform, Bravo Echo, engines lined up, runway 12, gunner.
We don't want to do that with the passengers on board because it's time consuming and it's not really necessary for them to be on board for it to happen. So this is the cockpit of the 206 float plane. Very simple. We've got a GPS that's got a radio built into it. We've got a second radio, so we've got two. Got a transponder, which is essentially just sends out codes, and if aircraft have specific equipment, or the necessary equipment I should say, they can pick us up on what's called a traffic collision and avoidance system, a TCAS. And then you've got your standard 6-pack, your airspeed, your artificial horizon, your altimeter, your vertical speed indicator, your direction, and your slipping and turn coordinator.
Gunner, traffic, uniform Bravo Echo, rolls runway 12, gunner.
We're going to pick up the weather. We're going to write it down so that we know what's happening when we get the passengers on board. And we'll switch on COM2.
2%. Rainfall last 10 minutes, nil. Kununurra, AWS aerodrome weather. Wind 140 degrees magnetic, 10 knots. QNH 1017 hectopascals.
Shortly rolling.
Temperature
Way 1248,
clouds clear below
2000
1,000 feet.
northwest, Canada.
So the weather's 140 degrees at 10 knots. QNH is 1017, so we'll set that.
I'm flying with.
Set that there. That sun's very bright. We'll check our temperature, so we're at 101 degrees, so that's good. We want to get to at least 100 before we start doing the run-ups. So we're going to do the run-ups now. Over there. That's the run-ups. We'll just brief the run-ups before we do it. We're going to advance the throttle to 1700 RPM, which is over here. And when we get to 1700, we're going to check both of the mags, make sure there's a maximum drop of 150 and a max differential of 50 between the two of them. Then we'll cycle the propeller 3 times, make sure that the manifold pressure increases, the RPM decreases, and the oil pressure decreases. And we'll also make sure that all of our engine parameters are in the green, and also that our suction is in the green from our vacuum. Alrighty, let's do it. Water rudder's coming up. Pull back stick, and and let's bring it up to 1700. We're looking at this gauge here. Still bringing it up.
Lining up runway 12.
There's 1700 there. We'll check the mags first. So we're going to switch to one of them. There's a slight decrease, about, what is that, almost about 20. Go back to both. It back, stabilises back to where it was, and then we'll check the other one. Also make sure we're going in the right direction. That was about the same, so both the mags are really good. Our T's and P's are in the green, pressure's good, temperature's good. Suction's a little bit high, about 6, which is good. I'd rather it be higher than low. And then we'll do the propeller. So we're going to check the manifold pressure first and see an increase. There's the increase in manifold pressure and decrease in RPM. RPM's increasing again to stabilise. Check the PSI on the oil pressure. Oil pressure drops as the RPM decreases.
Uniform Bravo, go departed runway 12 in a left turn for a downward departure.
Everything's good, suction's good, T's and P's are still in the green, and we'll bring it back and check the idle. So it's idling very good, so we'll bring it back up to about 900, and when we get to 900 we're then going to lean it out just a little bit more. We'll do a radio check just to make sure, because there is an airfield very close to us at Kununurra Airport, so we're just going to do a radio call just to make sure that people can hear us. Kununurra Traffic, good morning, floatplane Mike Golf Kilo radio check.
Mike Golf Kilo, 0 Mike Papa, reading U5.
Reading U5 as well, thanks honey.
No worries, mate. Morning.
Kununurra Airport, airfield lighting on.
Alrighty, so the plane's good to go. We'll just run through, just make sure. So we did go through the throttle. We checked the magnetos and the propeller, instruments and suction gauge. So we got the before takeoff checklist ready to go. Just make sure the rest of the aircraft's good to go before the passengers arrive. So this is our spot tracker. So it tracks where we are during the flight, and it sends it back to the office. So the people in the office know exactly where we are at any one point. So just make sure that that's definitely on and tracking. Fantastic, we'll leave that up there. Paperwork's good.
Uniform Bravo, go departed downwind runway 12, 1400 on climb 2000 airfield tracking northwest for the Berkeley River. Kununurra.
So we've got a fuel flow computer in here, in the aircraft, in this particular one, and we can go through and it actually shows how much fuel we're burning per hour in litres, also how much is remaining. So we've got 261 litres on board today, a little bit more than what we normally take. We normally take 240, but more fuel's better than none. And we'll keep watching that during the flight and just make sure that we've got the right amount of fuel at the right points. We've also got 2 fuel gauges, they don't work very well, and we've also got 2 auxiliary tanks on either wingtip, and they're both empty today, but we did check to make sure during our pre-flight that the pumps are working. Alrighty, I'm about to switch the avionics off and we're going to dock the plane.